Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I'm going to take you guys to various locations around the world. You're going to see some things in the sky that don't necessarily look natural. One being a rectangle, got a couple of very obvious triangles with sharp corners on them that just do not look like natural clouds. This video here looks quite natural, sent in by Leslie out of Scottsdale, Arizona. This is about 24 hours old. She shared this video with me today that was taken yesterday of a big, spectacular double-decker rainbow out here in the desert as we've been getting more rain. In fact, it's raining right now as I do this video. Thank you, Leslie. Greatly appreciate the video footage out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Coming back here to the National Hurricane Center homepage, looking at the 2-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We see Fiona over here in the Atlantic moving north. It's going to brush by, maybe come directly in contact with Bermuda here in about 48 hours, and then quite possibly make a landfall in a few days up here in Nova Scotia, probably as a tropical storm or maybe a Category 1. But the farther north you go, the colder the water gets in the ocean, and these things typically require very warm water to be powerful hurricanes. Up here, the water is not very warm at all, so I'd be surprised if it's a hurricane. A tropical storm would probably be more like it as it makes landfall supposedly up here in the Nova Scotia area. Got a new one here to talk about, Gaston in the North Atlantic, but I want to focus on this red X you see down here. Right now it's labeled number 1 with a 70% chance of formation according to the National Hurricane Center in the next 48 hours. We're going to take a look at the week-long forecast for this system right here that's starting to get organized and could become a hurricane here in the coming days. Today's feature photo at the homepage of the website is by Lisa M. out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Very dramatic mammatus clouds above Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Still seeing a lot of red vertical lines on these seismographs in the western part of the supervolcano caldera. We have the Hebgen Lake seismograph back, and it too is loaded with red vertical lines. Those represent earthquakes, albeit small earthquakes, but nevertheless, those are earthquakes at a supervolcano, and that's kind of a big deal. Coming over here to the Space Weather Prediction Center, looking at the GOES X-ray flux. There's been 2 M-class solar flares in the last 48 hours. Look for that activity to increase as the Earth-facing side of the sun, as you can see here, is starting to get more and more active. This is a huge active region that's turning towards the Earth. This region down here is turning away from the Earth, but a bigger one is coming in. Okay, I want to take you guys now up to Denmark. This video footage was sent in by the Piz girl from Denmark who noticed a rectangle, very obvious rectangle, hanging in the daytime sky underneath a bank of what looked like natural clouds, but she couldn't help but notice the 90-degree angles here and here on opposite ends of what looks like a rectangle in the daytime sky. And that's what compelled her to take this video, not the normal looking clouds. That's why she spanned over here to the left and then over here to the right. The rest of the clouds look normal except for what looks like a rectangle in the daytime sky. And we've been seeing these here recently, especially in the last month. Here's a enhanced version of the same video. Basically, light is dark and dark is light. You can clearly see what looks like a rectangle. Just looks out of place, doesn't fit in with the rest of the clouds. Going to take you guys now down to Louisiana. Video footage sent in by Karma J out of Shreveport, Louisiana, who noticed what looks like a perfect triangle off in the distance here. We're going to zoom in and take a closer look at this anomaly in the sky. The rest of the clouds look like normal clouds. You can see the sun tucked in behind the clouds up there, and then right here you can see once again those very defined sharp corners that normal clouds don't typically have sharp corners like that. I mean, pretty obvious. That's a rectangle sitting there in the sky, occupying space, and the clouds are kind of revealing its presence in the daytime sky, visible from Shreveport, Louisiana. That is nearly a perfect triangle. Once again, video footage sent in by Karma J out of Shreveport, Louisiana, who was very taken back by this structure in the sky and spent quite a bit of time videotaping this object. I'm just sharing a small version of the video footage that she shared with me that I'm sharing with you guys. I want to take you guys now to North Carolina, where another viewer noticed yet another triangle. However, this one was noticed in the nighttime sky by Jonathan out of North Carolina on the night of September the 9th, and he too noticed what looked like a triangle in the clouds above North Carolina. The first one we just saw was above Shreveport, Louisiana. This one above North Carolina in the nighttime sky. That's how obvious this was, that he noticed this in the dark. The clouds were glowing just a little bit, kind of revealing some of the features in the clouds, and you can clearly see what looks like right there, a void in the clouds. And that void is shaped exactly like a triangle with sharp corners. I mean, what are the odds? Clouds do not normally function like that. It doesn't look natural. It looks like it's of intelligent design. Doesn't look like a natural cloud. He filmed this for quite some time. He was very taken back by what he saw in the nighttime sky. There's an enhanced version over here on the left. I just simply adjusted the contrast, the lighting. There really wasn't much color to work with because it was a nighttime sky, but I did try to adjust the contrast and add some lighting to it to try to pull forward some of the obvious features that he noticed in the nighttime sky without any type of enhancement. Here I enhance it even more, and you can clearly see what looks like a perfect or nearly a perfect triangle in the nighttime sky above North Carolina. Been seeing triangles here recently, been seeing rectangles here recently, and quite a few of them, not only in the northern hemisphere, but in the southern hemisphere as well. Okay, I want to take you guys now back to the tropics. I want to focus a little more on what could be Hurricane Hermine. Right now, it's not even a tropical storm, but if this one, as is labeled number 1, if it does develop first into a tropical storm, it would be Hermine. And here's what some of the forecasting models are suggesting, that Hermine would develop here in about 48 hours, and if this disturbance here does turn into a tropical storm, some of the computer models are suggesting that this will gain momentum in the Caribbean Sea and get even stronger as it enters the Gulf of Mexico. This is a long-range forecast. This is a week-long forecast. It can and will change to some degree, but all of the models are in agreement that this thing's going to enter the Gulf of Mexico in about a week. Where it will go from there still remains to be seen, but the models are heavily suggesting the presence of a strong hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico by September 29th, and that storm would be named Hermine if it does organize and enter the Caribbean Sea as a tropical storm. Some models are suggesting a South Florida landfall as a strong hurricane. Other models are suggesting a Florida Panhandle landfall on the 29th. Most of these computer models are suggesting a nighttime landfall. This one here is also showing a Florida Panhandle landfall in about a week. But keep in mind, this is a long-range forecast, so it can and will change. But the long-range forecast is looking like there could be a large hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico by September the 29th. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at mrmbb333.com. If you have any videos you'd like to share that are too big for the email, you can come over here to the homepage of the website. Simply click on this red tab, drag and drop your video into that red tab. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.